Welcome to the Active for 2 strength training workout for trimester 3. As your baby is getting bigger and you're starting to feel your energy levels depleting again, we've taken down the intensity and included more seated and lying down exercises. We'll still be using our resistance band, so have it at the ready. Remember to take the modifications where needed and always check the safety information on the aptoclub.co.uk website before you start. Great, let's get going, Vivian. So to start with, we're just gonna mobilize the shoulders, big shoulder rolls. Think about hugging your baby up and into your spine, trying to stop that back from arching too much. Take it up into your elbows and really think about drawing as big circles as possible. That's it. Great work, Vivian. Feeling all right?
Yeah.
And let's take it even bigger into a full arm circle. That's it. Really think about drawing as big circles as possible. And then let's take it back the other way. So same thing, changing direction, keeping the breathing nice and deep. Good work. Taking it back into our elbows. Excellent work. And then lastly, back to our shoulders. So nice big shoulder rolls. Great work. All right, now that we've mobilized those shoulders, we're gonna take our legs a little wider, little bit of a turn out in our toes, not too much. If you've got any SPD, any pelvic pain, we wanna make sure that we turn our feet so they're facing forwards. Otherwise, we're gonna come into a nice squat, and then we're gonna reach our shoulder over, get a nice stretch. Coming up, take it across, and up. So let's start to speed that up a little bit. That's it, getting a little bit of heat into those legs, warming up through the shoulders. So use the pressure through your hands to get a really nice stretch through the back of that shoulder. And up. As you come up, I want you to pull up through the inner thighs and squeeze those glutes. Working through the pelvic floor. Let's do a couple more of those. Does it feel nice?
Yeah. Getting warm.
Good work. And we're going to take 2 more. Excellent. Bringing our feet together, we're going to come into a side lunge. So we're going to step to the side, toes facing forwards, and just taking our front arm onto that knee and taking it back. So a little lunge to the side and up. So keep that going. Opening up through that chest with that arm coming back. If you're feeling okay here, you might want to look up to that back arm. That's fantastic. Great work. Think about pushing your hips back as you come down into that side lunge. Great work, Vivian. Keep that going. Let's go for 4 more on this side. We're going to breathe out as we do that hard work, stepping back in and really pushing out from that right leg that's out on the floor. 1 more. And give those legs a shake. We're going to go straight into the other side. So taking it down. Again, looking up to that hand if you're feeling nice and balanced, and bring it back in. Take a nice deep lunge and bring it in. So with all of these warm-up exercises, we're adding a little bit of mobility in. We're going to be starting to feel really tight around those shoulders through the chest in our 3rd trimester. So really trying to open up whenever we can. So we're going to make sure that right leg stays straight, Vivian. That's it, perfect. And looking up to the arm if we're feeling okay. If not, if this is too much with the arms, just keep those hands on your hips. It's absolutely fine. You're still going to start warming up those legs. Let's go for 4 and 3. 2 more. And 1. Okay, from here we're going to step back with our left leg, taking our hands up and bring it in. Stepping back and in. So keeping that baby pulled in, nice flat back. So I'm just going to turn around to show you here. Reaching out through those fingers. Reaching out through the back heel. Really nice straight leg, that's it. And then you can start to speed this up, guys. So we want to get that heart rate up a little bit. Good work. Nice exercise. Let's go for 4 more of these. And then we're just going to take it into a little of a heel dig to finish. Good work. So from there, we're going to come into a bit of a heel dig with a bicep curl. So the deeper that you get into this squat position, the harder the work's going to be. If you're not feeling great today, you can just stay up a little bit higher. That's absolutely fine. If you're feeling strong, really come nice and deep. You should feel it working in that glute muscle. Good work. Thinking about keeping that baby pulled up and in. We don't want to collapse through the upper back. We want to keep that chest nice and open. Good work. Let's go for 8 more. Starting to feel your heart rate come up, being a little warmer?
Yeah.
Yeah? Good work. We've got 4, 3, 2, and 1. Nice work. We're feeling warm? Great, so that's our warm up over. We're going to start our main set with some squats. So, now we're in our 3rd trimester, we're a bit bigger, so we want to take our legs a little bit wider so that we can leave space for baby. We're going to have our toes facing forwards. If it feels more comfortable, you can turn them out a little bit to the side, but we're going to try and keep them parallel. So, option 1, hand on your hips. Option 2, we can take the arms up to the sky. So, from here, with our squat, we're going to push our bum back and then squeeze up. As we come up, we're squeezing the glutes and we're pulling up through that pelvic floor. So pushing the bum back and down, keeping the chest high, and breathe out as we squeeze up. So let's keep that going. Great work. So want to make sure that pushing the bum back and then squeezing up as you come up. So breathe out on your way up and then breathe in on the way down. Really great posture here, so keeping those shoulders back, keeping your chest up nice and high. And really thinking about that pelvic floor as well. So squats are a fantastic way of automatically working the pelvic floor without having to lie on the floor and do your Kegels. So every time you're doing your squats, really think on your way up about pulling that tissue out of the box, pulling up and out. Great work. How are we feeling? Should we try some of the arms up?
Yep.
Yeah, so just taking the arms up and then squatting down. It just adds a little bit. So it does make it a little bit tougher. If you're having a day when you've got low energy, keep the arms down. But you're looking great, Vivian. Let's do 4 more like that. Start for those legs warming up a bit. Good work. 3, 2, and 1. Remember, if you're feeling unbalanced in your 3rd trimester, you can always grab a chair, pop your hand on the wall, that's absolutely fine. From here, we're going to come into our lunges. So, we're going to take our right leg forwards. Both feet are facing in the same direction. Again, if you need anything to balance, because it is a bit wobbly when you're doing your lunges, just grab a chair or a wall. And what we're going to do is we're going to drop that back knee down towards the floor. So we're aiming for a nice right angle with both knees. So this front knee is directly over your ankle and the back knee is directly under your hip. We're going to, as we come up, we're going to push through that glute on your front leg and stand up with straight legs. So let's keep that going. So we drop down and push up. It's a bit wobbly, don't worry. Remember, you've got that chair on the wall if you need it. Great work. So one of the key things you want to think about here is tucking that tailbone under and trying not to lean too far forward. So Vivian's doing this perfectly. She's got her shoulders back, still engaging through that upper back. Great work. Should we go for 6 more on this leg? That's it. How's it feeling?
It's a big burn.
We've got 4, 3, and we're just going to add a little bit of a nasty one. This last one, we're going to hold it down, and we're going to pulse for 8 counts. So really small little movements, just to finish it off for 4, 3, 2, and 1. Coming up. Can you feel that?
Yeah.
Great work, guys. We're going to do the same thing, other leg, okay? So, left leg forwards.
Oh.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Have we changed? I think so.
Yeah.
Cool. So, again, setting yourself up, making sure that our back knee is coming nice and low to the floor, that we've got our abs engaged, we're pulling that baby up and in, and that our knee isn't coming further forwards than our ankle. From here, this time it's going to be your left glute that is squeezing as you come up. So coming down and up. Great work. Down and up. Good. Excellent work. So just making sure this knee doesn't come further forward than your ankles. You might just want to shuffle this foot a little further forwards, or the fat back one a little bit further back. That's it, and then continue.
Is that right?
That's perfect, yeah. Great work. So pulling baby up and in, keeping your shoulders back. Really nice. Let's go for 8 more. Remember, breathing in on the way down and breathing out as you do the hard work on the way up. Really thinking about using those glute muscles. 2 more, and then we're going to stay down and we're going to do our 8 pulses to finish. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and shake it out. We're feeling all right? Yeah. All right, so final exercise with our standing sequence. We're going to use our resistance bands. If you don't have one, it's absolutely not a problem. You're still going to get a nice workout here. So, what we're going to do is we're going to take our hands just a little bit wider than shoulder width apart, and we're going to take our legs out into a nice wide plie stance. So, second position, legs are a little wider than hip width apart, and we've turned our toes out to about 2 o'clock and 10 o'clock. Again, if you've got any pelvic pain, any SPD, you want to make sure that you turn those feet in a little bit. We don't want to be putting too much mobility through those hips. So, from here, arms out in front, making sure our shoulders are back and down, and that we're pulling that baby in, stopping any back from arching. As we come down, we're going to pull the arms out and in. Breathe out and in. Good work. So the great thing with this exercise is that we're working our leg, but we're also working through the upper back and working through that chest. Great work. So knees are coming out over our toes, and we're coming straight down. It's almost as if there was a wall behind Vivian here, and she's just coming straight down against that wall. Keeping pulling in through that baby, tucking the tailbone under slightly. That's fantastic. Let's go for 8 more of these. How's that feeling? Good? Yeah. Got 6 to go. And then we're going to hold it down for a final 8 pulses. Good work. 4 more singles. Keep pulling that baby in. Don't forget the core. And thinking about those shoulders coming back and down. So almost think about opening up that chest the whole entire time. We're holding it down this next one. And we're just going to pulse both with the arms and the legs. 8, 7, 6. Really putting as much pressure through that resistance band if you're using it as you can. For 3, 2, 1, and taking it up. Shake those legs out. You should be feeling that. You all right? Yeah. Good work. Good news is that we're coming onto the floor. So, carefully taking yourself down, we're going to come into a sitting position with our legs out in front of us. So, third trimester. Don't want to be up on our feet for too long. So we can take our legs out. You can always bend them if that's a bit more comfy for you at this time, okay? It's not a problem. Take them wider if you need a bit more space for baby. So we're going to take our resistance band and we're going to wrap them around our feet. Are we good there? So, first up we're going to do a row. So, with a rowing motion, we want to keep our backs nice and straight. So again, we're working our core here. We're keeping, imagine someone's pulling up through the top of our head. Nice straight back. Taking the arms nice and long. And again, to make this harder, you just walk the hands further down the resistance band. To make it a bit easier, just walk them up. So feel what feels good to you. You can always change it halfway through the exercise. So from here, we're going to pull the elbows up and back. You want to keep those elbows shoulder height. And then we're going to let them release out. So the great thing with resistance bands is that you can work on the way up and on the way down. So you're always working with that tension. And release. So we're going to breathe out, Vivian, on your way up. Keeping the elbows a little higher. There you go. And slowly coming down. Keep that going. So elbows up at shoulder height and then releasing it out. Does that feel quite good? Yeah. So great one with this exercise is that again we're working through the upper and mid back. Really important to counteract the fact that the upper back is starting to curve forwards during pregnancy, especially in our 3rd trimester. Good work. Let's go for 4 more singles like this. And then, as with everything, we're going to have a pulse. That's it. Keep those elbows up. So let's hold it back and just really small little movements. Keep pulling up and in, hugging that baby, and that's it. Don't forget to hug the baby. And let's pull for 8. Take your hands out a little wider. That's it. For 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Great work. Feel good? Mm-hmm. Okay, so second exercise. What we're going to do is we're going to keep with our rows, but this time we're going to cross over our band. And as we open up, we're just going to do one arm at a time. And we're going to bring in a little bit of rotation. So looking slightly back towards your elbow and then releasing it out. And again, open up with the other arm. So it feels really nice through the spine. It's an open twist, so perfectly fine to be doing during pregnancy. And back. Does it feel good?
Yeah.
Excellent work. And again. Fantastic. So let's go for 4 more on each side. Good work. Making sure that we're hugging that baby up and in. And really want to keep the elbows up nice and high. That's it. Just taking the eye line round with you, following the elbow. Fantastic. Keeping the right angle in your arm. That's it. So your hand stays slightly out away from that chest. Great work. 2 more. Fantastic. And last one. Brilliant work. So from here, we're going to uncross our straps and we're just going to work our triceps, so the backs of our arms. So in that same position, this time we're going to grab our straps and we're going to be pushing them back away from us. So nice long arms with this one. So squeezing through that back, keeping the head up nice and high. So you want your palms to be facing back away from you. That's it, so that we can start to engage through the back of the arms here. Great work. You should feel it through the back here as well. So we're thinking about squeezing our shoulder blades together. Remember to breathe. That's it. So almost breathe out every time you push back. Let's go for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Great work. Release that band out. That's all we're going to do with the band for now. All right, so last set of exercises. We're going to stay down. We're going to take it down onto our side. So sideline, we're going to be working our glutes. So that's it. Coming down, and we've got a couple of options here. So you can either have your arm straight out, or you can bring your head up and rest it with the hand. Okay, so choose whichever option feels better for you. What we're going to start with is we're going to start with a clam. So we're going to actually bring our legs forwards so that they're in line with our mat. We want to have a right angle with our knees. So keeping that leg bent in line with the mat. That's it. Does that feel comfortable?
Yeah.
Great. So you've got options here. You can either pop your hand onto your hip, which is great because you can start to feel whether your hip is moving forwards and backwards. Or if you want that little bit extra support, which you probably will do in your 3rd trimester, then you can just take that hand onto the floor as you were. Perfect. So relax the head, And all we're going to do here is imagine that we're opening up a book with that leg. So we're going to lift the top leg, keeping the foot flexed, keeping it bent, and then take it back down. Almost touching, not quite, and then lifting it up, taking it back down. So it's a really nice controlled movement. What we want to make sure is that our hip stays super still. So we don't want this hip to be coming backwards. That's really great. Well done, Vivian. So I want you to think about your glute working here. We're actually working our glute med, squeezing through here as we lift the leg. Good work. Again, this is a really good one to think about the muscle that's working, and it generally means that that's going to engage a little bit more. How are we feeling? All right, we're going to do 4 more singles like this, and then we're going to hold it up and we're going to do some little pulses. We love a pulse. So 2 more, and this next one, let's pulse it up. So really, really small movement. That's it, it's teeny tiny, and think again about opening up the pages of a book. Opening it up for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Great work, relax that leg down. We're going to take the legs longer this time, so into a nice straight line. Absolutely, that's perfect. Now, if you feel a little bit unstable here in your 3rd trimester, you can bend that bottom leg, okay? If you want a little bit more stability, you can just bend that up. Otherwise, we're going to flex this foot, and we're going to lift up, and then we're going to lower down. So again, nice and steady. Keeping that foot flexed, and you want to think about this leg being as long as possible. So imagine that you're really kicking this heel so that it touches the wall at the other side. Great work. So again, throughout this whole movement, we're thinking about keeping our hip really nice and steady. That's perfect. Relaxing through the neck and the upper body. Another little thing to think about is you want to almost imagine that you have a little tiny gap underneath your waist here. In your 3rd trimester, you're probably not going to have one, but if you imagine it, it's just going to mean that you start to work your core a little more. Great work. So we're going to do 4 more singles like this. Good work. 2 more. And then we're going to hold it up, and we're going to do some little circles. So let's point our toe this time, just changes the muscles are working slightly. And we're going to take a circle. It's almost smaller than a tennis ball. So it's a really, really small circle. It's totally controlled. The smaller the better here. Take 4 more this way. 3, 2, 1, and then let's take it back the other way for 4, 3, 2, 1, and release it down. How does that feel? Feel it in your bum?
Yep.
Good work. So it's nice and carefully, we're just going to come up and we're going to come up straight onto the other side. Same set of exercises. Almost there. Last little set, and then we're going to have a stretch. So first ones, we're going to bend the knees. So we've got that right angle. We're using our mat so that we can tell that we've got our shins in line with the front of the mat. Hand just resting down in front of us for a bit of support, and we're imagining we've got just that tiny little gap underneath our waist. So from here, we're opening up the book and taking it down again. Try not to let the knees touch in the middle, so we're always working through that stuff. Good work. Flex this foot. There you go. Fantastic. So really thinking about keeping that hip super still. Again, if at any point you're in doubt as to whether it's moving or not, then you can just pop your hand onto your hip to make sure that it's staying down. Doesn't need to be a huge motion, this one. Small is better, as long as you're keeping the rest of your body nice and still. Good work. Let's do 4 more like this. So thinking about this knee opening up towards the sky. Good work. 2 more, and then we're going to hold and pulse. Good work. So holding it up and little pulses. So it's the knee that's opening up towards the sky. For 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and release that leg down. Good work. Straightening out the legs again. Good work. Make sure you're nice and comfy. Flexing the feet. And remember, you can bend that lower leg if you need a little bit more stability here. So we're going to lift the top leg up. That's it. Flexing that foot to start with and then lowering it down. So again, we've got really nice length through the back of this leg. Great work. Really pushing that heel away from you. That's it. And keep that breathing going. So breathing out as we pull it up. And in on the way down. Good work. Let's go for 4 more of these. And then we're going to do our circles. 3 and 2. Keeping that upper body nice and relaxed. Keeping that baby pulled in. And holding that leg up. This time we're going to point the toes. And we're going to do those little circles. So remember, smaller is better. We need to be able to keep the hips super still whilst we're doing these. Really engaging through that glute. And let's take it back the other way. Great work. So really reaching that leg nice and long for 4, 3, 2, and 1. Release it down. Great work. Bending those knees up. We're going to come up nice and gently. We're just going to have a nice stretch. So, let's start. We're going to do the same stretches as we did in trimester 2. So we're going to take our legs out in front of us. Sitting up nice and tall, we're going to take our right leg across the left. This time we're going to keep that foot nice and flexed. Think about that knee just pushing down slightly to the side. And then whilst we push down through our hands behind us to keep an eye straight back, if we want to add a little bit more stretch, we can pull that front leg up a little bit. If it feels like you're getting a nice stretch where you are, then we're just going to hold it there. So remember to always breathe through your stretches. We don't want to come too deep into our stretches during pregnancy. There's a lot of relaxing in our body. We don't want to overstretch. So it should never feel too uncomfortable. So let's take that down and change over legs. Crossing that foot over, making sure it's flexed. And again, if you want to add a little bit more stretch, then you can bend that front leg. Everyone's completely different in terms of how flexible they are. So don't worry if this is too much. That's it. You can put some pressure through those hands to open up the chest. Get a bit of a chest stretch at the same time. Keeping that breathing going. And releasing it down. Let's take our one arm in front of our body. So stretching through the shoulder, keeping that shoulder down away from the ear. If the legs aren't comfy like this, you can bend them, let the knees drop out to the side, that's absolutely fine. And then we're going to take that same arm up and almost use this hand to push the fingers down your back. Think about keeping that baby hugged in, trying to stop any arching of the spine. Breathing through it, and then releasing it out. Taking the other arm across. Great work. Use those arms to put a little bit of pressure to increase that stretch. And remember to keep breathing. And then we're going to take the same arm up, and we're going to stretch through that tricep. So again, this time you can use your right hand to just put a bit of pressure through the left elbow, trying to get those left fingers down your back a little bit further. And release that out. So final stretch, we're just going to take our legs, you can take them a little bit wider to give your baby a little bit of space, and we're going to stretch through our hamstrings. So we want to flex our feet. Depending on how flexible you are, you might be able to reach your feet, otherwise you can just pop them down onto your shins. And coming forward with a flat back, so we're not arching down, we're going to just come forwards with that chest. Really nice stretch of the hamstrings, but also through the lower back. Keeping those shoulders down away from your ears. And breathe through it. Again, if you can reach those feet, you can just pull on them a little bit to increase that stretch. One more deep breath. And slowly coming up. We are done. Great work.
Thank you.
Thanks for doing the Active for 2 Trimester 3 strength training workout. Remember, all of this work will be worth it once you go into labour and to help you with your recovery and all of that carrying you'll be doing after. I recommend that you repeat this workout a minimum of 2 times a week. Remember not to push yourself too hard and to always stick to around 70% of your maximum exertion. Always take the beginner modifications where necessary and listen to your body. You can find out more about strength training during pregnancy at aptoclub.co.uk.